Coach Greg. In today's video, what actually burns more fat? And in doing so, I decided to bully someone harder than last time. I reshared someone's video and it's a female. She's on the treadmill and she states, what actually burns more fat? And so we're going to learn what burns more fat. And remember, the reason I'm saying I'm a bully is because I'm mocking people who say that when I say, do you agree, and reshare someone's footage, that I'm not actually a bully. People are saying that I am, and so I'm going to lean into it. If you think I'm bullying this woman because I'm resharing and talking about what she posted, then so be it. I'm going to bully harder than last time. What you think burns more fat. And so she's jogging on the treadmill. What actually burns more fat is she's slowly walking on the treadmill. And so I reshared this to see, do you agree? And so I decided to see what my audience would think. And I thought my audience was smarter than last time. I thought people had watched my videos, that they understood this kind of thing. And so I made a poll. Walking burns more fat than jogging. And so lo and behold, 27% of people, they agree with this. 27% of people, that's more than a quarter of people out there, think that if you walk, you just slowly go for a casual stroll, that you're burning more fat than if you're jogging. Jogging requires more work. You're going faster. Your heart rate's higher. You're sweating more. You're perhaps more uncomfortable. You're doing a lot of work. You're burning more calories, clearly. But people, they think that it burns less fat. And so what does that mean? That means that about a quarter of society thinks that if I go for jogs, not going to burn fat. But if I go for walks, oh my goodness, I'm probably going to get shredded. But nothing could be further from the truth. The amount of fat you burn when you're walking as a percentage of total calories is higher. And why is that? Well, I'll break down the science for you. When you're going really slow, your body can rely on fat for energy. It doesn't need a lot of carbohydrates or glycogen. And so if you're going slow, steady pace, for example, zone 1, zone 2, your heart rate's low, you're walking. It's very easy and your body can rely predominantly on fats. But if you're sprinting 100-meter dash, you're above your anaerobic threshold. You're using your anaerobic alactic energy system. That means without oxygen. You're relying on glucose, not fat. And so if you're sprinting, you're in the Olympics, 100-meter dash, 200 meters and so on, you're burning almost entirely carbohydrates and not much fat. But remember, this is jogging. It's not sprinting. And even if it was sprinting, at the end of the day, what burns more fat? Whatever puts you in a greater calorie deficit. The more of a calorie deficit you're in, the more you're going to rely on burning fat. And so in the end, if you're jogging, which means you're probably at zone 2 or zone 3, you're going at a higher pace and so you're burning more calories. Perhaps you're burning a lower percentage of fat because as you go harder than last time, as you approach your anaerobic threshold, you're relying more on glycogen and less on fat. And so let's say you're going for a very slow walk. You're perhaps burning 90% of the calories from fat and 10% of carbohydrates. But if you're jogging, perhaps you're burning 80% fat and 20% carbohydrates. But you're going at double the speed, and so you're burning double the calories. And so if you perhaps go for a 1-hour walk and you burn 400 calories, you perhaps burn 90% of that as fat. And so 90% of 400, it's 360 calories from fat. Now, if you double that pace and you're jogging zone 2, zone 3, and you're burning 80% calories from fat, 80% of 800 is 640. And so which burn more fat? Is 640 calories from fat more than 360 calories from fat? Pretty sure 640 is a bigger number than 340, but hey, maybe you can watch Mike O'Hearn. Actually, don't watch Mike O'Hearn. He has no clue about how to count numbers. And so perhaps people were confused. They didn't understand the question. They thought if you walk a mile versus run a mile, you'll burn a greater percentage of fat during the walk of that mile than the run of that mile. But the thing is this, when you're running, you're going faster. Jogging is faster than walking. I teach this in grade primary. The kids, they get this. And so when you're jogging, you're going further. And so if somebody said jog for 10 minutes or walk for 10 minutes, you're going to go further during the jog than the walk. Therefore, you're going to burn more fat. And so even if you're burning a higher percentage of fat when walking than jogging, jogging is going to be better at burning fat overall. And why? Let's summarize it again. The greater the calorie deficit you're in, the more fat you're going to burn. When you're in a deficit, you're burning more fat. And so it doesn't matter what you're burning in the moment, whether you're burning fat or carbs during that moment of exercise, it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And so, for example, many people think you need to do empty stomach cardio and to burn fat. When you're doing empty stomach cardio, for example, you wake up first thing in the morning and you go for a run and walk, whatever, you're burning a greater percentage of fat than you are from carbs in comparison to if you had just eaten. But here's the thing. Once you then eat after that exercise, you're going to burn less fat throughout the day. The person who ate breakfast and did their cardio is burning less fat during that cardio, but later in the day, they're going to balance it out. And so in the end, it doesn't matter. And so even The Rock knows after hitting rock bottom, getting injured, even The Rock knows that whether you're doing fed cardio or empty stomach cardio, in the end, it doesn't matter. To be fair, it's walking on an incline, not just walking. How is that relevant? Is walking slowly on an incline going to burn more fat than jogging on a flatter incline? No. It's all about how many calories are you burning. And so the woman was not trying to say that if you walk briskly up a mountain that you'll burn more fat than jogging on a flat. That was not the point. The point was, hey, everybody, did you know that going at a slower pace actually burns more fat? That's what she's trying to make. And so by saying, to be fair, she's walking on an incline, that's not relevant for this. Now, if she had it on a 30% incline and was walking at 3 miles an hour, then yeah, it's going to burn a lot of fat. In the end, it's the effort. It's force times speed. How many pounds of her body weight is she moving over a distance? Because that will determine what are the watts. The watts are how much force is being produced. The force being produced determines the calories being burned. The more force you're putting out, the greater the work. The greater the work, the greater the calorie demand. This is how you burn calories. Incline walking burns calories faster because it's more of a challenge. I mean, we're looking at the same video, are we not? I mean, we are, aren't we? Does it look like she's putting out more effort during that incline walk going slowly up perhaps, I don't know, 10 degrees, or during that faster jog? Which does it look like she's putting more effort? And although you're right, if you're walking very quickly up an incline, you're going to burn more calories than a slow jog on a flat. Overall, this is not the point. Does it look even remotely plausible that she's putting out more effort, more work during that walk than that jog? People are being dumber than last time. Yeah, exactly. Please tell the people it's all about calories in, calories out. How hard is that to understand? Well, apparently harder than last time. Apparently 27% of people don't get it. As long as you're below your maintenance calories, you will lose fat, regardless of what type of cardio you do. There you have it. I mean, consider this. How many of you out there believe that HIIT cardio is the best way to burn fat? Many of you are thinking that it's a myth. Many of you are thinking it. All you have to do is do 15 minutes of HIIT cardio. You sprint for 30 seconds and then you walk. Sprint 30 seconds, you walk again. Because if you sprint, it's going to stimulate EPOC, post-exercise oxygen consumption, also known as the afterburn. And oh my God, if you ever sprint during a workout, you're burning calories for like 24, 48 hours, at least 1 or 2 days, probably 1,000 calories per hour for several days. And you're going to get shredded from 15 minutes. That's what people want you to think. They wanted you to buy into those programs, so you spend money, so you do 15 minutes of cardio. The truth is you burn more calories going steady state at a normal pace for 15 minutes than you do during HIIT cardio. Why? Because during HIIT cardio, you go very fast, so you're burning a lot of calories then, but then you're going really slow. And so it's better to go at a moderate pace for a long period of time than it is to go for a fast pace, followed by slow, fast, and slow. And also consider the recovery rate. When you're doing HIIT cardio, it's harder to recover. And you're probably not going to go as long. And so imagine this. You're doing an hour of steady state cardio versus 15 or 30 minutes of HIIT cardio. If you do an hour steady state, you're also going to have more EPOC. An hour of steady state cardio also burns calories, also has an afterburn, of which many people don't want you to know. And so the truth is, steady state cardio, as fast as you can make it at a comfortable pace, that is the best way to burn fat. The longer you go, the more calories you're going to burn, and so the greater the deficit. And so doing 15 minutes of HIIT cardio, not going to be as good as doing longer bouts at steady state pace. Now, remember, if you're trying to be an Olympic athlete, you're trying to improve your VO2 max, you're trying to maximize everything, it's good to do both. You do some forms of steady state cardio. For example, you go for a 1 hour jog or perhaps an hour bike, an hour treadmill and so on. But you also incorporate intervals. And so what do you think I do? Well, I'll go, for example, a 1 hour bike ride, or perhaps go at 800 calories per hour. But on other days, I'll do HIIT cardio. I'll go slow for 5 minutes. I'll sprint up a hill, go slow down the downhill, coast, go sprint back and forth. And that pushes my fitness even further. But I do both. You can't do HIIT cardio every single day. It would be overtraining. She probably meant to say that you can last way longer walking than jogging, therefore burning more calories. I mean, are we literally giving these people the answers? I mean, try this on your next exam. Write the wrong answer and then see if the teacher says, well, the student probably meant this. 5 plus 5 is 11. Well, they wrote 11, but they probably meant 10. They just wrote a 1. And instead of writing a 0, they wrote another 1 because they were probably daydreaming about Coach Greg's videos in his cookbook. They couldn't wait to eat French toast. And so they wrote a 1 run way too quick. That's not how it works. You can't say what I think she might have wanted to say. This is ridiculous. And even if it was true that you can last way longer walking than jogging, does that mean that walking burns less fat than jogging? Let's say you last way longer. You could last a full hour when walking, but jogging only 30 minutes. Well, if you traveled further during the 30 minutes of jogging than you did during that hour of walking, you're burning more calories, and so ultimately you're going to burn more fat. So inclines don't increase calories burnt. Got it. Do you know how aggravating it is for me to have to explain to people who are so stupid, and they're being stupid on purpose, and you know it. You know you're being stupid. There's not a person out there that thinks that if you walk up a hill that you don't burn more calories than if you walk on a flat. I'm pretty sure everyone knows this. I also think that people understand if you're walking downhill, then it's easier burning fewer calories. And so just because I say that jogging burns more calories than walking doesn't mean that I'm saying that incline walking is the same as flat walking. I literally have made multiple videos about this. If you're going up a 15% incline, you burn double the calories as if you're going on the flat at the same pace. What does that mean? If you're walking 3 miles per hour on a flat and you're 154 pounds, you're going to burn approximately 300 calories in an hour. That's how it works. Approximately 100 calories per mile walk. That is for a person who weighs 154 pounds, perhaps an average weight female. Remember, most people weigh more than this, and so most people are burning more calories than this. Now, if you, instead of walking on a flat 0% incline to 15%, and you also walk at 3 miles per hour, you're doubling the work. Why? Because you're carrying your body weight up. You're not just lifting your weight horizontally, you're carrying it upwards vertically. It increases the calorie burn, and at 15%, it doubles it. And so rather than burning 300 calories, you're burning 600. What about if it's 30 degrees? It doubles it yet again. And so if you walk up 30 degrees versus on a flat, you, instead of burning 300 calories, will burn 1,200 calories. But how many people are walking 3 miles per hour up a 30% incline? Do you know how steep 30 degrees is? I can't even pedal my bike in the smallest gear up a 30% incline. It is so steep. It's ridiculous. And so, yeah, 3 miles per hour going up 30 degrees, that is highly impressive. Trust me, try riding a bike up a 15-degree incline. Try even pedaling at that pace. It's very hard. 15% in my smallest gear. I'm getting tired. I don't care how in shape you are. That is very difficult. And so clearly, stop being an ass. You're doing it on purpose. You're acting like you don't know. You're saying, oh, got it. You're stupid, Coach Greg. I got it. Did you see that there wasn't an incline? Don't you notice that? You're so stupid. I hate how stupid people are in the comment section. Why can't people develop a brain? Why can't people who have a brain actually use it? All humans that I know of have a brain. Why do you choose not to use it? And she's walking so slowly too. Not only does it not burn more fat, it's also incredibly boring. Well, you know what you can do when you're doing your cardio, walking slowly up an incline and so on? You can watch Coach Greg videos. I guarantee it's going to alleviate the boredom. Perhaps I'm screaming and shouting, and yeah, you can bully me about my voice, make fun of it and so on, but it is not entertaining. Are you not entertained? And so you're getting your pre-workout by me yelling and screaming at you. You're doing your cardio. You're learning about why you're doing your cardio, why you're burning calories, all at the same time. Oh, but Coach Greg is just drama. Do you not learn a ton while listening to my drama? Are you not more educated than last time? Watch 1,000+ of my videos and talk to any other fitness influencer and see if you know best. If you've watched 1,000 videos from me and you understand what I'm saying, you literally would know more than 99% of social media influencers. I'm telling you, learn from the best. Watch my videos, entertain yourself, and keep learning harder than last time. I mean, based on this logic, did you know that you burn more fat sleeping than walking? Did you know that when you're asleep, you're almost burning entirely body fat? Most of the calories being burned while you're sleeping is fat. And so at my weight and my metabolism, I'm burning perhaps 80, 90 calories per hour while I'm sleeping. Almost all of those calories from fat. And so if I'm going on a diet, should I just sleep more? I mean, I'm going to burn the most amount of fat as a percentage. And so is that not the best? Makes no sense. And so think of it, use your logic. And so let's expand this to the sport that I love, bike riding. If I bike ride at a very slow pace, I'm going to burn more fat as a percentage. And so should I ride along at 125 watts and just noodle around going slower than last time, burn perhaps 500 calories an hour? Or should I bike harder than last time, go 250 watts, double the calories burned in the same time? Well, at 250 watts, I'm going to be burning some carbs, more so than at 125 watts. But I've doubled my calories. And so what makes more sense? To noodle around going slower than last time, or to actually push myself a little bit? Now remember, if I don't got the time, I can go hard, go 30 minutes and burn the same amount of calories as I did in an hour. And so which do you think makes more sense? Going slow all the time, walking, never pushing yourself, or actually pushing yourself, looking at the sign in the mirror and saying, go harder than last time? Because if you believe that walking is better than jogging, you also then must believe that sleeping is also better than walking. And so do you now get it? Do you now understand? So those 27% of you out there that think you know best, you think you know more than Coach Greg, do you now get it? Does it make sense? And so if this is perhaps a bullying drama post, are you feeling like I'm being a bully? Did you learn from it? Are you now more educated? Now, to settle this argument, I also think people are going to want to know this. If you walk 1 mile versus you run 1 mile, will one burn more calories than the other? The answer is it's almost the same. There is a slight increase in calories from jogging over walking, and you're thinking, well, why? It's the same distance, the same effort. When you're walking, you're mostly going like this, more stable, more straight on. When you're jogging, you're going more so up and down. And so the reality is you're actually traveling slightly further. When you walk a mile, you're walking a mile. But are you in fact walking a mile up and down? Consider this. If you walk from point A to point B in a very straight line, but if you close your eyes and jog a mile and you go like this slightly off to the side, you're not quite as straight, you might have jogged perhaps 1.1 miles. And so jogging does burn a little bit more calories, perhaps 10%. And there is slightly more EPOC because you're pushing harder than last time. There's greater recovery demands. Your muscles are perhaps going to get more sore. They're going to have to build more muscle than last time. And so jogging compared to walking will likely burn slightly more calories. But for the most part, I don't want you to worry about that. Just walk the mile, jog the mile, do whatever you need. But remember, if you go a bit faster, it's better. If you go a bit faster, you're burning more calories, regardless if it's a lower percent or a higher percentage of fat, it's still burning fat, it's still burning calories, and ultimately, the greater the deficit, the greater your fat you're going to burn. And of all the supplements I have, even better than G-Shred, which is a fat burner, number one I recommend GO2 Max. And why this improves your cardio. Has NMN. Improved cardio means you're going to be able to go faster. In a double-blind, placebo-controlled human study, that's right, human studies, not mice, not rats. The people walked up to 50% further in the mile test. That means the people who took the NMN supplement were able to go 50% further. These are not athletes. These are people who are out of shape, perhaps morbidly obese, perhaps in their 40s, 50s, and so on. And so is it the NMN that's getting you in better shape, better conditioning, or is it motivating you to go more? Do you have more energy and so you walk more? The answer is, does it matter? Perhaps it's allowing you to do more cardio just on its own. Perhaps it's also giving you more energy, allowing you to perform more cardio. Or perhaps it's both. My feelings is that it's likely both. You're going to have more energy, allowing you to go further. And so perhaps you're thinking, yeah, I'll go for that 15-minute walk. I don't really want to. I don't have any energy. You're taking GO2 Max. And because of that, you're in a better mood. You have more energy. And so instead of only walking 15 minutes, you walk 30. You said, well, I feel good. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do 2 laps around the block. And so that is how you can benefit from GO2 Max. It allows you to have more energy, get better at cardio, more energy expended, going to allow you to burn more fat than last time. And so please consider GO2 Max, code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Watch one of those 2 books, the cookbooks, the training books, the Circle diet book, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. You can get all these on the website. Don't forget code Greg, 15% off. And if you don't have money, you don't have to use the code. Just get to the website, get the free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages. It's free. Join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.